On the 28th of June, 1914, a young assassin triggered the deadliest war in human history, the First World War. Gavrilo Princip, an ordinary Bosnian Serb, harbored deep resentment against the Austro-Hungarian Empire for annexing his homeland, Bosnia. After being rejected by the Black Hand, a Serbian nationalist organization, he joined a plot to assassinate Archduke Franz Ferdinand, the heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne. This event ultimately led to the Sarajevo Incident, which ignited World War I. It can be said that Princip's 2 shots marked the beginning of the Great War. Picture this: a quiet street in Sarajevo. On that day, Archduke Franz Ferdinand and his wife Sophie were on a tour. Ferdinand, the future ruler of an empire, smiled nonchalantly, completely unaware of the impending danger. But in the shadows, Princip and his comrades were ready. They had planned this moment for a long time. Their motivation was nationalism, with a clear goal: overthrowing the Austro-Hungarian Empire and fighting for Serbian independence. Princip was not the only one waiting. His accomplices were also lying in ambush in different locations, ready to strike at different times. However, fate played a trick. Ferdinand's motorcade unexpectedly changed its route and passed right by where Princip was standing. In that very moment, Princip pulled out his pistol and fired the bullets that would change the course of history. The Archduke and his wife were killed instantly. Princip was arrested, and his life was changed forever. But who was Gavrilo Princip? Was he a true assassin, or an ordinary person thrust into the spotlight of history? Princip was born in Bosnia, a region that had been conquered and ruled by multiple empires. His ancestors were once part of the Serbian kingdom. His father was a worker, and he himself had no formal education. His motivation stemmed from a deep hatred for the Austro-Hungarian Empire and a burning desire for Serbian independence. At the age of 17, Princip traveled to Serbia to join the Black Hand. Eager to fight for his people, he was rejected due to his short stature and frail build. But fate had other plans. Fast forward to May 1914. In a small cafe in Belgrade, a group of young men were reading a newspaper headline: Archduke Franz Ferdinand and his wife would visit Sarajevo on the 28th of June. For Serbians, this day was a national day of humiliation 525 years earlier. On the 28th of June, 1389, Serbia had been defeated by the Ottoman Empire, beginning a history of subjugation that lasted for 5 centuries. The Austro-Hungarian visit was undoubtedly a blatant provocation. The Black Hand could not tolerate such an insult and began planning a countermove. This time, fate favored Princip. He was chosen for the mission, underwent secret training, and emerged as the best marksman among the group. On the 28th of June, 1914, at 10 a.m., Archduke Franz Ferdinand and his wife arrived in Sarajevo. At 10:15, an assassin threw a bomb at the motorcade, but it missed its target and exploded behind the third car. Ferdinand's driver sped toward the governor's residence, thinking the danger had passed. Ferdinand believed the assassins had been captured and decided to return to his vehicle to visit the injured. To avoid the city's center, they chose a detour, but fate played another trick. The driver took a wrong turn, and the motorcade ended up back in the city center. Princip was sitting at a cafe corner, frustrated by his comrade's failed assassination attempt and his own poor position. However, Ferdinand's motorcade unexpectedly appeared before him. Seizing the opportunity, Princip rushed out of the crowd, pulled out his pistol, and fired at point-blank range, just 1.5 meters away from the Archduke and his wife. Princip's shots echoed through the annals of history. Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia, and soon, the world's great powers were drawn into the conflict, sparking World War I. The war caused the deaths of over 16 million people, all triggered by Princip's 2 shots. Princip attempted suicide with cyanide, but the poison had lost its potency. He raised his pistol to his temple, but before he could pull the trigger, he was overpowered by the police. During the investigation, 23 suspects were arrested, including 6 members of the assassination team, all under the age of 20. According to Austro-Hungarian law, they were considered minors and could not be sentenced to death. Princip was sentenced to 20 years in prison. He was exiled to a harsh prison near Siberia, where he contracted tuberculosis, lost his right hand, and died in 1918 at the age of 23. His death marked the end of a young life, but the storm he unleashed swept across the entire world. Princip's story is a tale of how a single act can change the world. Was his assassination justified? Was he a hero or an ordinary person used by history? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more fascinating historical stories.